Hello my dear students, good morning to you all. So in my last class I was explaining about what are the different methods which we are going to express the precision. Okay, so the precision of a data which can be expressed by 4 different methods. So the first one was mean deviation, or it was also called as absolute method, and second what we understood was a relative deviation, and the third one was range. Okay, so the precision of data can also be given in terms of range. Smaller the value of range, higher is the precision of measurement. And the fourth type or fourth method of expressing the data of precision was a standard deviation. So the definition of standard deviation is, the standard deviation is the square root of the mean of the squares of the differences between the individual measured value and the mean of the difference between the individual measured value x naught and the mean of the number of measurements. So the definition might be a little bit confusing, but if we write it in terms of mathematical expression or mathematical equation, so definitely we will have a clear picture or understanding about what exactly a standard deviation is meant. So we also saw 2 different types of standard deviations. So that was so the first one was population standard deviation, and the second one, so it was called as estimated standard deviation, or also called as a sample standard deviation, right. And in the last few minutes of my previous class, we understood about coefficient of variance. What is meant by coefficient of variance? So it is another way of representing precision of data in terms of coefficient of variance, and the equation or the mathematical expression for coefficient of variance was standard deviation divided by mean into 100. And later on we took an example, so where that example says that an analyst who analyzed the sample of platinum spectrophotometrically and he obtained 7 different results, so which were taken by using spectrophotometry instrument, and then he found out mean, how to calculate mean, how to calculate mean deviation, and then with the help of that, so how we are going to find out the standard deviation, and with the help of standard deviation we also calculated coefficient of variance. So there, that one example was enough for us to understand what is meant by mean, what is meant by mean deviation, and what is standard deviation, and how we are going to calculate standard deviation, and also we understood or we calculated median and range, and after that, after finding all these values, so we also calculated the coefficient of variance, right. So this is where we stopped in our previous class, and in this session, so let us understand what are significance tests and what are the different types of significance tests we are going to use in chemistry. So these significance tests, as I said in my previous class, so they are the statistical tests which are used to compare individual values or set of values for significance difference. So what is the significance difference? So how much difference is there? Difference between what? Difference between the individual value or a set of values. So this difference, by knowing the difference we can measure, so to what percentage the error is there and how to reduce that, whether that obtained value is acceptable or should the analyst need to repeat the experiment. So all these clarifications or judgment can be done by performing these different types of tests. So that is why it is called as a significance test. Mainly the important significance tests what we see in chemistry, that especially in analytical chemistry, is the first one is a Q test, and it is familiarly called as Dickson's Q test, and second one is a F test, and the third one is a T test. Okay, so these are the main three tests or it is also called as important significance tests which we are going to see in chemistry. So, now let us see one by one what is meant by Q test, F test and T test, and we will understand how we are going to calculate or how these significance tests helps a analyst to come to the conclusion saying that what is the percentage of error, or should he has to repeat the experiment, or in what way he can accept the results what he has observed or found out. Okay. So, the first one, as I said, Q test, and it is also called as Dickson's Q test. So, this Dickson's Q test, or simply it is called as T test, is a way to find out the outlier which is in very small. Okay. So, if suppose if I get a negligible result or a very small difference in the observed values, so then I am going to use Q test. So, normally what happens is, if we take a set of results, that means if we repeat the experiments in terms of various different trials like 5 trials or 6 or 7 trials like this. So, what happens is normally the values are going to get distributed. So, here outlier will be a very small, and small data sets are usually defined somewhere between 5 or 3 or 7 items which we call it as different trials. So, it is commonly used in chemistry where data sets sometimes include one suspect observation that is much lower or much higher than the other values. Okay. So, here you got an meaning. So, we have a set of results, say for example 5 results I have got, all the 4 among the 5 results I have got the values between 3.1, 3.2, 3.3 like this. So, this is the range, the values which I have got. 4 values are in the range of 3, and one value will be either it will be 4 or either it will be 2. Then we have that one particular trial I have made mistake, and that is what is called as outlier, and that is which is a suspect observation. So, I can call that value, that one particular value, because all the other 4 trials which I have performed, I have got the similar values. Only one trial, in one trial I am getting a suspect observation. So, keeping an outlier in the data which affects the calculation like the mean and standard deviation. So, true outliers should be removed. Okay. So, this is what is meant by Q test. So, some values in a set of replicate may be considerably higher or lower than the remainder. So, such values are called suspected values or outliers. The Q test should be applied for such outlier to determine whether it should be rejected or accepted for further calculation. The mathematical expression for Q test is equals to suspected value minus nearest value divided by largest value minus smaller value. So, with the help of this equation, so we are going to found out so whether the result or the observation what we have made, so that has to be kept or rejected. So, this Q test is applied for such outliers. So, why we are going to use this Q test is, so we are going to compare the results with the tabulated value which we call as Q tab at a selected level of probability, usually 90% or 95%, or the which statistical data which has been already given in the book. So, with that statistical books we are going to compare the Q tab values, and suppose if it is 90% or 95% to the given statistical book, then we are going to accept it, otherwise we are going to reject it. So, what are the conclusions made by performing this Q test? Suppose if Q experimental is lesser than Q tab, the value which I have got, Okay, so by conducting this calculation, that is Q experimental, which is equals to suspected value minus nearest value divided by largest value minus smaller value. So this equation is there, no, by using that equation. So suppose if Q experimental is lesser than Q tab means so the values which are already tabulated in statistical books, which I said. So we are going to compare it. So there is two chances. So one is I may get Q experimental which is lesser than Q tab, or the second option is Q experiment value which will be greater than Q tab. Suppose if it is in the first condition, that is this condition, so there is no significance difference between the suspected value and other values. So therefore, what we will do is, so we are going to accept the suspected value and retained for further data processing. Suppose if this is the condition, that is Q experimental value is greater than Q tabulated value, then the suspected value has got significance difference and it is rejected as an outlier and it is not considered for further data processing. So this is all about Q test. So these are the two different observations what we are going to make by performing Q significance test. So let us illustrate the Q test with an example. So in this example, 7 replicate values were obtained for determination of pesticide in Netravati river water, and these are the values which I have got, that is 0.411, 0.410, 0.402, 0.380, 0.404, 0.400 and 0.408 mg per dm cube. Okay. So, if we inspect these data, inspection of these data reveal that, so 0.380 mg per dm cube is a possible outlier at 95% probability. If you just look at these values, you can find out which value is outlier, because all the values are in 0.4 range, 0.4 range, but only one value, that is 0.38. So this is a suspected value, or this is what is called as an outlier. So how to calculate this? So here let us find the difference between mean and the suspected value. Okay. So here if we calculate the mean, so what we are going to get is 0.400 minus 0.380 and the difference is found to be 0.020. By doing cross multiplication, we can find out what is the difference for 100 when in terms of 5. So therefore the probability level is 95%. That means so out of 100, so I am getting 5% of error. So that means 100 minus 5. So the probability level is called as 95 percentage. Okay. So here I got all the values, the suspected value is 0.380 and the nearest value is 0.400. Okay. So either we can take a nearest value in this. So nearest value is 0.400. Yes. So here, so this is the suspected value or outlier, and the nearest value for this is 0.400. So that is why I have taken 0.400 divided by the largest value. So you have to observe in this, okay. So in the example, so which is the largest value? Largest value is 0.411 and smaller value, which is the smaller value, and then I am going to calculate 0.645 is the value which I have got. Okay. Now let us make a conclusion. So here Q tab is equals to 0.57 for n is equals to 7, because I have conducted 7 trials at probability level 95 percentage. Therefore, in this Q experiment is greater than Q tab. Okay. So this 0.57 value is nowhere present in that set of 7 values. So if you see in this problem, so out of all these 7 values which I have got, so the Q experiment is 0.5. So that 0.5 value I have nowhere got. That means so Q experiment is greater than Q tab. Hence 0.380 is an outlier at the 95% probability level for 7 values and it should be rejected. Okay. So, in this way I can give justification why I am rejecting the value 0.380, that is because, so it is an outlier and it has a value which is greater than the Q tabulated value. Okay. So, in this way, so Q test is used, and the next second one is F test. So, this test is developed to compare the precision of two sets of data. So, in Q test what we saw was we were examining one value which is a suspected value or outlier, whereas in F test we are going to compare the precision of two sets of data. Two sets of data means, so here we are going to consider the sample variance, we call it as sample variance or population variances. So, we are going to find out the standard deviation value and then we are going to compare that sample variance to find out to perform the F test. So, the two sets of data which may be originated are classified as, so the first one is, so the two analysts in the same laboratory for the same analyte or two different method of analysis for the same analyte. So, these are the two different sets of data which may be originated, that means, so the method is same but the analysts are different. So, one is I will perform the experiment, another I will give you to do the experiment and we check. So, what is the significance difference between the results what I have obtained and the results what you have obtained. So, this is one way, and the another way is the entire method itself may be different. So, here the analyst may be one, means I only perform the experiment, I use two different methods and I compare the values or the results which I have obtained in two different methods and I found out, so what is the significance difference. So, whether the results I am getting is similar or am I getting difference. If I am getting difference, then what is the percentage of difference in that way. So, we will come to the conclusion that, so which method is more appropriate, in which method I will get good results. So, to do this justification, so I am going to perform F test. So, the statistic F is defined as the ratio of the population variances, that is sigma 1 square and sigma 2 square. So, here sigma 1 and sigma 2, so these two are the two different population variances what I am going to see. Okay. So, with the help of that, so I am going to perform F test. So, this F test it is a statistical test which has an F distribution under the null hypothesis which is called as F tests. So, it is used to compare the statistical models, as I said, as per the data set provided or available. So, here a scientist or analyst, his name was George W. and in honor of Sir Ronald A. Fisher, so he termed this term which is called as F test. So, in this way I am going to represent the F test in terms of mathematical expressions. So, that is S2 to the whole square divided by S1 to the whole square, where S2 will be greater than S1. Or else, so F experimental, so can be represented as sigma 2 square divided by sigma 1 square, where sigma 2 will be greater than sigma 1. Okay. So, this is how I am going to express it in terms of mathematical expression. The F experimental is calculated and is compared with the F tab at the number of degrees of freedom, that is n minus 1 for each set of data. So, what are the conclusion made based on this F test? So, again here also we see two possibilities, that is, suppose if F experimental is lesser than F tabulated and suppose if F experimental is greater than F tabulated. So, these are the two difference or two observations what we can make once after conducting this F test. Suppose if experimental value is lesser than f tabulated value, so then there is no significant difference between the two variances and hence between the precision of two sets of data. If f experimental value is greater than f tabulated value, then there is a significant difference between the variances of two sets of data and hence between the precision of two sets of data. In the precision also we will observe the significance difference if f experimental value is greater than f tabulated value. So, these are the conclusions which we can make based on this F test. And the third test is T test, or it is also called as student's T test. So, what is meant by T test? So, this T test is a parametric test and it relies on the distribution assumptions. So, in this test the different samples of materials under test are analyzed by new and standard method. So, one will be the new method and another one will be the standard method. So, in this also we will have the two sets of data and from the results which I have got. So, the t value is obtained with the help of equation, that is xd, or this is mean deviation divided by sd into n raised to 1 by 2, where so here xd bar being the mean differences, as I said, between paired values s, okay, and sd is the standard deviation of the differences and n is the number of measurements made and xd is the individual differences in results which yielded by new and standard method. And the standard deviation is given by the equation which we have already seen in our previous class. Okay. So, the suitability of the new method developed can be decided by t values as follows. Mainly we have to consider 3 points, whether the new method which has been designed is acceptable or not. So, the first point is so the experimental value, that is t experiment as obtained above in the it is compared with the t tabulated value obtained from statistical tables for same degrees of freedom. And next if the experimental value, that is t experiment, is less than t tabulated value, so then there is no significant difference between the two methods. So, then need not to worry about new method, we can perform the experiments by conducting the old method or standard method itself. Suppose if the experimental value, that is t experiment, is more than t tabulated value, so then there may be some determinate error in the new method. So, if we take one example, so then we will understand clearly what is t test. So, here the example which I am taking is, so the amount of more salt obtained by standard method and new method are given below. Show that the two methods have no significant difference by using t test. So, this is very important. So, very important problem. So, from the exam point of view. So, here as I said, analyst has calculated the amount of more salts which has been obtained by standard method and new method. So, this is the standard method values. Okay. So, here the amount of more salts is in terms of grams per dm cube, and this is the new method value, and he has performed 6 trials or 6 different concentrations of more salts he has taken. And next what he has done is he has found out or calculated xd value. What is xd? So, xd is the result of new method minus result of standard method. So, this is the standard method and this is the new method. So, what is the difference? So, he has taken it as xn, where xn means new method, xs means standard method. So, this is xd, he has found out xd, and then he has calculated xd bar minus xd. So, this is the value of xd. He has calculated the mean and he has subtracted the value of mean with the xd values, okay, and then he has calculated the summation of xd minus xd bar to the whole square, and he found it as 9.132. So, with the help of this value, so he is going to calculate standard deviation, and he found out standard deviation to be 1.351, and with this so he has got the mean difference value. So, mean deviation or mean difference value which is 0.14, and the standard deviation value is 1.351. He has substituted it into the square root of 6, means he has carried out or performed 6 different trials, and the result of t test was 0.2538. So, what was the conclusion made? So, since t experiment value is less than t tabulated or critical value of 0.257, so there is no significant difference between the means of two methods. Okay. So, if there is no significance, so then both the methods, that is a new method and standard method, so the both can be accepted. Okay. So, this is how we are going to come to the conclusion. So, whether the method or new method or standard method, so both are acceptable or not, or suppose if there is any determinate errors in the new method, so that also can be found out by performing student t test, or simply it is called as a t test. Okay. So, with this I am going to stop it here, and very little part is left in this chapter, the significant figure and how to calculate how to perform the calculations involving significant figures, and what is meant by rounding off, how we are going to do rounding off, and calculations which involves addition and subtraction. So, this will discuss in my next class. Okay. So, if you have any doubts regarding this Q test, F test and T test, so you are free to ask in the Google Meet classes, or in any time you can call or message and clarify your doubts. Okay. So, thank you dear students.